Laker. Laker. Oh, that's got a cusk on it. Welcome back to the channel, guys and girls. I'm Josh from Beneficient, and we're going on the first annual overnight trip of the year, ice fishing up north for Lakers and Cusk. It's going to be a New Year's trip, so I might go live. We'll see. So if I do go live, I'll link that video below. It's depending on service and it's depending on how good the fishing is, of course. But I've been packing for the last 2 days. I've had people come over and help me assemble stuff from Eskimo and all that good goodies. So the garage is an absolute disaster zone. But we got the Escape 2400 all set up. I'm not going to bring it on this trip. But I am going to bring, I'll show you, like literally there's boxes and junk everywhere. But we're leaving tomorrow, I don't know, mid-morning-ish, running up there, checking a bunch of ice. I am bringing the Snowdog, even though I don't know if I'll be using the Snowdog or not. So there's the Snowdog right there. And yeah, using the Snowdog, we're going to be jigging Lakers and Cusk. And we're going to be lines down at 12:01. That is the plan. So follow along for the ride. We get a long rip up there. And stay tuned for the first overnight trip of the year. I am freaking pumped. And if you guys want to continue to support the channel, I know I always say this, but you can go visit my website, benefishing.company.site. And that's where you can buy the Winnie kit and my baits, and the baits for alewife style lakes like Lake Champlain and Sebago. So let's go. Just stopped and got some bait. We made it up to our town at least. Uneventful drive, nice and boring, just the way I like it, listening to podcasts. Let's go find some safe ice. Please, please, please have some safe ice. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Not looking good, guys and girls. I probably should have brought the fly rod, because at least I could have fished on January 1st. But we're going to the secondary lake and seeing if there's ice. There should be. First lake literally had a 1/4 inch of slush. That was it. I couldn't even get on, which is normal for the edges to be shot, but not that shot. Let's keep going. All right, we are just literally going for a rip across the lake to look for decent ice, or to check ice. Spud bar and pistol bit and Snowdog in tow. So I'm gonna go slow and check a bunch of spots. We got about an hour left of sunlight, so I'd really like to set up in the daylight for you guys and for myself. Let's go. Another school of smelt right underneath me. Now for the hard part, guys and girls. Getting everything out of that truck and into the Snowdog sled here, or a couple of sleds. Yeah, watch me unpack. But we found like a good amount of ice, and its temperature should be dropping, and it kind of feels like rain, but it doesn't feel like rain at the same time. But I'm gonna shut this off. We'll be on the ice here in a minute. All right, I gotta go slow and keep looking back. I feel like this is a good a spot as any to set up. All right, my goal is to set up kind of right in here. That hole was like 15 feet. I'd rather be in like 20, but the main snowmobile chase is right there. So I think right here would be good. I normally catch Cusk in like 30 feet, but this is a different body of water, so I'm just gonna go shallow, I guess. And if I don't catch any tonight, it's not the end of the world. All right, guys and girls, welcome to Welcome to camp. Welcome to Camp 450XD. This is the first time setting up the 450XD, and it was a little tricky. The roof has one more bar because it has that door, so I actually had to open the sides first and then the top because I just didn't have the. It might be easier the next time. I think like they break in basically and get easier to open. But there's a lot more space in here than I thought, so I sit back all the way against the back door here, and I have probably enough room to put another person in here with a cot and fish, which would be sweet. And it echoes in here, like it's that loud. It echoes in here, and I have stuff hanging. I did have an electrical fire, and I almost burned down the shack. I hung up my lights that I used last year, and they're not super bright, but they're bright enough to film with, or at least I hoping you guys can see me well enough. And they started burning and smoking. It was very scary, and it was right next to the fabric and some paper. Very nerve-wracking, but I got it to work and not short out, so I'm gonna unplug them tonight. I normally like just turn them off, but I will unplug them tonight and keep checking the electrical connections to make sure they're not too hot. But let's get some food. It's 5:30 right now. I normally eat early. I ate lunch right on time today. Service up here is not the best, and it just started raining, which I expected it to do. But the 450XD has like a water repellent coating on the outside compared to the 949 series. So we'll see how it does. The other one I never had a leak or anything like that, but this thing appears to be more water resistant. All right, I don't know what I think. So I did a poll on which food to try first, and I bought a bunch of, thanks for my wife actually got me for Christmas a bunch of those camping foods, the ones you heat up in a bag, so let's mix some of those. I think the chicken teriyaki and rice one, it's really hard to find these things that don't have a gazillion milligrams of sodium, so this is, and I took this idea right from Clayton Schick. If you guys don't follow Clayton Schick, he's a Canadian YouTuber that catches monster fish, which I'm very jealous of. I'm gonna throw that away. And then we want to carefully add 1 1/3 cup of boiling water to pouch. Stir well, zip pouch shut, let stand for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is going to be slow, but let's heat up the jet boil. Alright, see you guys in 10 minutes. Alright, 10 minutes is up. Let's try this. And fireworks are going on in the background. Last year I was up, and I was sick last year with a childhood disease, unfortunately, from my son's daycare. Smells okay. And this year I'm on a different lake. Still New Year's. Thank you again, Kelsey, my wonderful wife. Same fireworks, and last year there was tons of coyotes howling the whole time, which was a little crazy, but let's see if there's any good. It's not terrible, but I think in a minute I'm gonna go out and take my jet sled off, my secondary jet sled off, and flip it over and put it on top of the Snowdog so that it doesn't get swamped with water tonight. Not really worried about it getting wet, but I have that box in the back that's not sealed, so that's gonna fill full of water. So it's 6 o'clock now. That gives me 6 more hours to do whatever I want. So I'm gonna be watching the Fly Fishing Film Festival through my phone, through my laptop. Hopefully there's enough service. If you haven't watched the Fly Fishing Film Festival and you fly fish, or even if you just like really high quality fish porn, as you want to call it, watch it. It's I'll leave a link for it below, but my goal is to do one of those videos sometime in my video YouTube making career. Just let you guys know, I just gotta have a good storyline and lots of, it's just gotta be perfect, if that makes sense. Alright guys and girls, it's 11:54, which is fantastic. This has been, got here since like 2 o'clock-ish, and basically set up at like 3:30, so I've been on the ice since like 2:30. It's a lot of waiting for this exact moment. I'm not in a perfect spot for cusk, but there is smelt in the area. They are on the screen right now in the Aqua View. I'm not going to put that up yet, but what I'm going to do at midnight, right on the money, is I'm going to run out and set cusk traps. So go up, follow me out there, and let's go set some cusk traps, and then I'm going to come back in, pop a bottle, and then start jigging for cusk in the holes with the Aquaview camera, which will be pretty sick. Since there's already bait in the area, I'm surprised. I think a cusk came through already, just because the dust on the screen. But I didn't see them. They have to be like right next to the camera. So, all right, it's 11:59. And I'm gonna wait till like legally turns 12:01, just so there's like no issue with the rules. Because that's the biggest part of being like issue with being a YouTuber sometimes is like following all the rules to the T, because all my stuff's documented online. So it gets tricky sometimes. But I got the chest cam on so I can put the headlight on so I can go out there and set up cusk traps in the rain. Or technically I should put my bibs on, but I'm being lazy. Like taking my boots off again. We got coyotes and fireworks going at the same time. And smelt on the screen, which is sick. Happy New Year. Set this one up last. But it's just a stick with some old line on it. And these fish tend to inhale their bait back here. One, two. And I like to do this, kind of do like an overhand loop knot, and then I like to put it right in the middle. And that way you can see if the cusk pulls it tight and he's pulling on the middle of the trap, not the end of the trap, because that'll pull it right through the ice. And we're glowing up the jig, guys and girls. We're glowing up the jig. This is the Super Glow in the Winnie kit. And this is the Winnie kit available on my website. You can tell this one's mine because it's all beat up already. Figured I would, I don't normally use the Winnie kit. I just throw a bunch of jigs and stuff in my bag. But we got the Aquaview camera on there, not recording yet, but it's down there. And I'm trying to figure out how to go live. But I need a tripod mount, and I only have one tripod mount. So I need to set my cell phone up on something. Just pounding bottom until fish come in. Unfortunately, I couldn't do any of this before midnight, so we'll give it a couple hours, I think. See if I can figure out how to go live. I think I dropped both of the things I needed down the hole. Alright guys, I think, as you can see from my face, I'm gonna go to bed. Because I haven't seen any fish, and it's 1:30 in the morning, and I plan on getting up at like 6:30ish because it gets light out at 7. There's no reason to fish an hour before sunrise. I'm gonna have 6 cusk lines down all around me. I'm kind of on a silty mud flat. I have seen people catch cusk on a silty mud flat, but I normally catch them like right on the rocks, like buried in the rocks. So we'll see what happens in the morning. Stay tuned. Oh, well, good morning. Well, no fish were caught last night. Tons and tons of smelt though. It's kind of ridiculous. I've seen more smelt here than I normally do on my other spot. And I only put in a little chum, and all the chum appears to be gone. So a burbot came by between 2 a.m. and right now it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Or almost 7 actually. It was pretty much pouring rain and windy all last night. The wind finally stopped. And inside my shack is a swamp, basically. It's all the water's been rushing into my shack and like blowing out the holes that I have in front of me. So that's a little sketchy. But other than that, slept okay for being on the ice. A few more minutes here. I'm going to put the chesty cam on, and I'm going to go check my cusk traps. I have a feeling I have at least one. We'll see. First little burbot of the year. Such a cool fish. I'm just gonna have to cut it, I think. back down it goes. We're gonna hopefully wait until this rain passes a little bit. My radar is not even showing rain right now, but obviously there's rain. Eating oatmeal, I'm warm and dry. Alright, we're gonna venture out in the cold and the rain here. A lot of smell here, guys, but I'm not seeing any direct lakers. That wind is nasty. Whew. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a laker underneath the smelt right now. Oh, that could be a lake trout for sure. Definitely a laker on the screen right there, or cusk. Well, I've seen lakers here. Oh, there's one right there, actually, small one. Oh, that's got a cusk on it. That's got a cusk on it. For sure. And another little burbot. And another little burbot. Little tiny guy. Impossible hole, but there's another little burbot. Going back down. Traumatized. And that happened this morning. So, 2 cusk and a couple laker chases, and that's it. So my plan is to pack up and go to another lake. I've decided that I'm gonna go there just with the Snowdog and just like the run and gun setup, basically, not set up the shack. And hopefully I catch some lakers. There's so much bait in this lake, there's no reason that I can't find the lakers. But we also have cusk traps to check on the way out, so hopefully those have more cusk on them. Let's see. Got a laker coming up to me right now, super fast. Oh, I fucking missed it. Missed the first one, guys, but that's way more action than I've seen anywhere else. Frustrating. Oh, there's another laker right there. Coming from the deep side. Oh, there's one right there. Laker. Laker, laker, laker. Laker, laker, laker. Finally. This is definitely not a small one either. Doesn't feel small at least, so it just came up towards me. Must have burped. Ooh, nice lake trout. Yeah. Pinned him right in the top of the mouth. Oh my goodness. Oh, and he's puking up smelt. Oh, look at that. He's puking up all those smelt. First laker of the year, guys. Look how pretty that fish is. Gorgeous. That's over 18. Look at the white fins. I'm using my cell phone just because it's raining out. But, oh, geez, beautiful fish. Going back down. Yes. Yeah. That's freaking exciting. I just snapped a hook, but look at all the smelt that this thing just spit up. 1, 2, 3, 4 smelt. That one's almost still alive. And I hooked him so good I had to snap the hook to get it out of his face. But that's insane. I haven't caught a lake trout in like a month and a half. It's been crazy. And we're breaking out the old Winnie kit. Comes with 5 jigs and some plastics. Might have some other random stuff in here just because it's mine. But we're going to use a polymer knot with this little size line here. And since I have smelt now, I can tip my jig with just a little bit of smelt. Cut the tag off. And we're gonna take the tiny smelt, the penny, as we call them. Not seeing anything, but we're gonna drop down anyways. Definitely on the ledge here. It sounds like there's a waterfall right next to me. Never been on this lake before, so I'm still learning it. Ooh. Oh. He broke me off. That fish came screaming for that thing. I mean, screaming off that ledge for that. Rarely do I get broken off. There must have been a nick or something on there. So my sonar currently is faced like this. So I'm looking up the hill and then down the hill, which is good and bad. Sometimes I'd rather have it this way with the hill, in line with the hill. But then I get a very small window of where I can see the fish before they're on me, technically. We're going to loosen that drag a couple of clicks and see if another one wants to come screaming up. That fish must have just literally inhaled it and hit the teeth there. I got to buy some 12 and 15 pound fluoro just for these special occasions. Well, thank you all very much for watching. We ended up with 2 little cusk and 1 lake trout to start the year. That's not past January 1st. And it's winter wonderland. I got snow literally flying in my eyeballs here. And a beautiful little lake. I've never fished here before, and I've seen quite a bit of lake trout and not so many smelts, which is good. The lake had too many smelts and not enough lake trout, so they just weren't eating. But if you guys want to continue to support the channel, visit bennettfishing.company.site. And that's where you can buy the baits, the Winnie kit, which has all of the baits that I make in it, except for the grubs, which are for the bigger fish or bigger species of bait, which is alewives. And yeah, thanks for watching. We're going to pack up here. We've done just over 24 hours on the ice, starting from yesterday. And a lot of it was just waiting around for midnight for legal fishing time. Thanks for watching. Let's go.